You think I'm joking? Listen, every boy in here been beat up in the 5th grade for messing with some girl about that windmill. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you. I like Issa. You gonna beat somebody, did I say it right? Alias. How many guys you gonna beat up with that windmill? You can be honest. How many you gonna beat him with that windmill? Just, even back then, even when he pulled your pigtail. You ain't getting back the windmill. That's all right. I know some folks in the level. I know some poets in the level. I'm asking. That one hit a quitter. Jackie, feel like I'm looking in the mirror, dog. I feel, show it to me right quick. Show it to me. Let me see it. Feel like I'm looking in the mirror, dog. I promise you. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We'll ask everybody if you are still buying products, kind of respect the mic. Make sure you pay attention to these poets that's coming up here. This first poet I'm gonna call up. We got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay. We're gonna ask every poet to make sure that they just take that 3 minutes up. We're gonna call the next poet up to the stage. Y'all met him earlier. I want y'all to put your hands together. You just came and did a set for us up in Spartanburg, ripped it, destroyed it, killed it. After this, please buy a shirt, wristband, a CD, something. Y'all put your hands together for Bugsy Calhoun. Clap to the stage, clap to the stage. Clap to the stage.
Two poems. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
First poem. In the beginning there was a word. Thoughts and ideas conceive words that are born on pages, projected from our lips to your ears on stages. These are the manifestations of God. Words that can comfort the soul when times are hard. A poet. Prophet ordained, evoking translations from the Most High. That's why a poem can make you laugh or make you cry. Raise your awareness or make you high. Why? Because we are His antennas for His transmissions. Modern day biblicated prescriptions for our everyday afflictions. And see, this is poetry. I didn't choose it chose me. Holds me to a connection of reflections of past relatives like Cullen, Hurston, and Hughes. Back to ancient times when storytellers will spread the news. It is how when you meet a poet, you know that some kind of way that he or she is a part of you. This crosses races, sexes, and creeds. See, the word is our bond. The word is the seed. It can be given life and death in the tips of our tongues. Words that is cool as the water from the Nile or as hot as the sun. Even if you bring death to a poet like Real the Real One, his words will live on. When a poet says, you better run. It is the Holy Trinity, the Spirit, the Father, the Son, through our words. A poet is given the gift of resurrection, forever immortal reflections of our connection to the Creator. To be a poet is to be something greater, unraveling rapture from Genesis to Revelations on these CDs and publications. When our words reverb, it shapes the minds of entire nations. We speak resistance into existence of our current state and situation. If you didn't know it, poets are the next great leaders and speakers of this generation. We are the descendants of revolutionaries' dreams deferred. We are the sons and daughters of the voices unheard. With pen and pad, we can change the world. It was with God in the beginning. So in the beginning, there was
The Word.
That's it. That's it.
One more poem. It's inspired by Dr. Maya Angelou. It's called Hope and Dream of the Slave. Let's go. I am the hope and the dream of the slave that survived the Middle Passage. Segregation, Jim Crow, and slave masters' lashes. Terrorized by Ku Klux Klan, hung from poles and trees. I remember being lynched for just whistling at a woman not the same color as me. I am the hope and the dream of the slave, not from caves. I am from the matriarch land. Zulu, Watusi warrior, original man, African. I remember being beaten for not being on the back of buses by bigots and racists. Marched with kings and segregated races with Brown versus Board of Education cases. My soul sings Negro spirituals like we shall overcome. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. I am the sold and traded, ancestry decimated, heritage separated, forced to pick cotton, tortured with dogs, hunted down, manhood castrated. I'm running towards the North Star on the railroad underground, looking for a freedom that I've never seen to have found. I am the hope and the dream of the slave that's been oppressed for over 400 years. We built this country with our bare hands, our blood, sweat, and tears. COINTELPRO left our Black Panthers for self-defense, defenseless. It is I who witnessed devilish fiends, Malcolm X, Martin Kings, Medgar Evers, Fred Hampton, Bobby Horton, and 4 little girls. We will no longer fall victim to the words written by Willie Lynch. We will stand up and come together like we did for the Gina 6. I am the hope and the dream of the slave that endured through revolutionaries' assassinations, to our people's emancipations, a call for reparations, a rise of a new nation, to the hope and the dream which manifested our first Black president's inauguration. Because I am the hope and the dream of the slave. You are the hope and the dream of the slave. We are the hopes and the dreams of the slave.
Everybody got their own cause when we go to Southern Fried. And, you know, so everybody, when you go up and do a poetry, that's why you heard me say, Southern Fried is the second largest poetry competition. You give away thousands of dollars, but even more than that, it's like the biggest family reunion. When I tell you, race, sexual orientation, none of these things matter when we go there. Everybody's brothers and sisters, and you get all the love in the world. That's what it is. And you know you're not going to see these people the next year. And when we go down there, everybody has their tent. So your tent is U.S.
You know.
See, he did all that up and then he got soft. That's all. Okay, so check this out. This next poet, we're going to bring it to the stage by way of Illinois, by way of Las Vegas, by way of now Atlanta. She's not only a phenomenal poet, but she is the queen of the windmill fighting style that she will teach it to you. And I'm going to make sure I nail this name because I've been practicing. Put your hands together for Ali Epson. Yeah, it is. Get it up there.
Let's go, poet.
I am Ali Epson, and I'm your spoken word sensation. I thank you guys for having me out tonight. I'm coming from Atlanta by way of Illinois, and I'm a model and a spoken word artist. You guys can research me. Simply Google Ali Epson, like A-L-I-E-P-S-O-N. So that's with Muhammad Ali. So we're gonna go ahead, DJ. Yeah, check one. This piece is entitled "Welcome to My World," created and written by myself. I am Ali Epson, and this is therapy over music. Sensation, sensation, sensation. Welcome to my world, forced to be grown. I'm just a little girl. A childhood I didn't deserve. I'm 8 years old and I'm mad at the world. Now tell me that ain't absurd. I'm the oldest of 9, ain't never been heard. Cause I'm surrounded by noise, I'm surrounded by lies, nobody to idolize. And yes, I asked the question why my mama so high and why she living so blind. And why she yelling from the couch? Her physical presence wasn't really present in the house. Her mental state of being wasn't worried about her child. These drugs had her spinning, she relinquishing her mind to steal our Christmas gift. Was the first to come to mind, stay gone for 3 days, then return without a dime. But yes, I know that ain't a crime. Her job was to give birth and I'm to learn from her life. Yes, I'm to learn from the strife for that night. He decided he just had to black her eye. But yet I praise the Most High. He's the real reason why that my limit is the sky. And by the grace of God, I graduated, went to college. Yes, I beat those odds. Now, moving on to my dad. He was a good man, but 7 kids he had. 7 deep in debt, living check to check, and his habits are weighing it. He was a very quiet dude. He never said he loved me or told me I'm beautiful. I had to hear it all from strangers, and even to this day, I don't seem to amaze him. A daddy-daughter, they please. He focused on his marriage, but never focused on me. But I'm the oldest, so it's fine. Well, that's the damn lie. I'm human, now where is mine? And I ain't trying to make you cry, but understand the Most High, he's not a man, he can't lie. So instead we should try to meet him halfway. If he approved our struggle, he created our faith. Just have faith. He's your ears, lose your ain't. He's Jehovah and he's great. He's the reason that I'm straight. Welcome to my world where it all ain't pearls, and I wouldn't trade it in. Even if I gained the world, I'm a smart young girl, old enough to understand that my path was ordained. Don't they call it destiny? Comprehend what I'm saying, and I'm not preaching, but Yahweh has a plan, so please get the reaching. Welcome to my world, forced to be grown, I'm just a little girl. A childhood I did deserve. I'm 8 years old and I didn't understand the world. But this is how it is. Listen, just because we can't change life, don't mean we shouldn't live. See, the hardest struggles are given to his strongest warriors. And this is why he tells us to endure hardship as a good soldier. He is your father and your mother, but you must trust him and you must love him. Do you love him? Thank you. I am Ali Epson, your spoken word sensation. Thank you guys for the opportunity.
See that? They be getting, see what I'm saying? I'm trying to get some real money. Don't do what they want to do. Y'all do that for Ali Epson. She got down here and she's like this. I'm going to talk like this the whole time. And then she's like, yes, I'm the queen of the windmill. She did that right there. Okay, so check this out. I think all the vendors have went up. Except Miss, we good. We trying to get her. Yeah, I love you. Fierce and sassy, I got you. Check this out. I want to do a poem for y'all. But I don't know which poem to do because I think I got a few like this really here. So tell my story.
Tell my story.
Tell my story. That's what I got to work on that too. I hadn't done that in a while. Yes, sir. Hologram.
Who's doing it?
You want to come introduce him? You want to come? Nah, you say something. Just get out. Just get out. my son, I tell you. Just they say I'm supposed to take care. Anyway. Okay. If they ever tell my story, let them say that I walked with giants. Because history. History intends to erase my complexion through assimilation or affection, and you ain't gotta believe me. When was the last time you saw a group of Native Americans? See if they ever tell my story. Let them say that I stood on the shoulders of titans, and that these hands built a nation with the crack of a whip at my back and a foot upon my neck. Let me tell the story of how they took my 14-year-old cousin while he slept. See, they tied barbed wire around his neck. They took an open fan to his exposed flesh. See, Jet Magazine took pictures, but they could never capture the anguish of Emmett Till. See if they ever tell my story. Let them say that my people are the only people that laugh at their suffering. That reinforce stereotypes of themselves. See, every black comedian got a nigga joke, but you never hear the little Jewish boy tell the German boy, oh, thank you. Thank you for turning my people into a walking science experiment. See, you never sit around and hear comedians say things like, what do you say to a Korean that's smoking weed? You ask him, are you high? Because your eyes look normal. See, my people are the only people that reinforce stereotypes of themselves. See, we have allowed someone else to define us. See, they have taken our creativity and made it ghetto. See, my sisters can no longer be sexy. See, they can wear the same dress that somebody else wears, but they are hooties while they continue to be sexy. See, we have allowed them to take our hood dances and turn it into their Zumba. See, the same people that hate hip-hop now make millions from it. See, if they ever tell my story. I hope that they say that I fought the good fight. I hope that they don't say that I spoke silently and carried a big stick. I hope they say that I spoke boldly and I was mindful of what I spoke, but I spoke boldly and carried a pamphlet. See, I hope they say that when I went into my room to study war no more, that I carried my people on my back like a book bag full of bricks because my brother, you really ain't that they're heavy. I hope that they say that that boy there, he will be the next revolutionary. See, if this stage be my pulpit, and this audience be my congregation, with my people finally get on one accord, let all the revolutionaries raise their right hand and say amen, 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 amen. Amen. One for the blood, one for the struggle, and one for the revolution. So when they tell your story, what do you want the world to say about you? Y'all clap. Let's go. To the stage, but I don't have my paper, so I'm gonna do this then. I'm gonna call this next poet to the stage. Y'all give it up for my brother, 6'6", 250 pounds, pure poet. Y'all give it up for Culture!
I'm really not a poet. I didn't talk about trash. That's just words. Truth is, I'm a freestyle poet, so my first time hearing it is your first time hearing it. I mean, I can only be me. So, today we've been, and it's been real educational about what we've been talking about, the discussion that we have going. And one of those things that we've been talking about is the black man being destroyed by the things around him. And this is my piece, so y'all feel it. So, dealing with reality in the black man, we all one and the same. What makes us different, maybe our skin color, maybe the tone of our hair, because mine is much more than most of y'all in here. But what separates us is the egotism. And once we have egotism, we forget who we are. We forget our passion. We forget that we were actually guided by a star. Now, many people look in the sky and try to find God. I look in the mirror and say, God, look at you. Look at you. What is your plan today, God? Because understand, nobody can do nothing unless you choose to do it first. So everything happens through a thought. And the thought is first brought about by a vision. And if you don't have a vision, then you won't have a thought. And if you don't have a vision for who you are, then you're going to be misled by the first thing that comes along that shines like diamonds. And once that thing comes along that shines like diamonds, you find out that happiness is really an illusion, you're going to be left alone. Because you built your foundation on something that's going to crumble. You built your foundation on a bunch of lies and hypocrisy. But yet you fail to see. You fail to realize who you are. You fail to study yourself from A to Z. Although you wake up in the morning, you have things that you want to do throughout that day, but you can't because you don't have the way to get there. You don't have that mental mentality to keep you free. You don't have that mental mentality to set you apart from the devil. For the devil is an entity that lives within each and every one of us, so to say. But how does the devil receive power? How does the devil receive confrontation or confirmation? How does it happen? One has to allow that to be happening. One has to allow themselves to be duped. One has to allow themselves to not know themselves. And once you look upon somebody else to tell you who you are, you've been misled. So once you actually define who you are, and you can put your finger on this and say, this is who I am, who are you? What is your purpose? Am I my brother's keeper? If you don't have a vision for who you are, you can't keep me because my vision is not of this world. I am not from this planet. I just invade this physical. I'm just here to give y'all a little bit of pleasure right now because it's pleasure to me also. I like to see y'all smile and make y'all laugh because that's my passion. To make all of us feel like we are somebody. But you just have to feel like you are somebody because you are somebody. You are that darkness that walks in their light. But once that light recognizes that darkness, then you become a shadow. But once that shadow actually recognizes their light, then that shadow has to disperse. Because light overtakes all things, especially darkness. Darkness is an illusion because, look, it's a shadow right now. There's darkness behind my hand, but can you see it? No, you can't. But neither can you see oxygen either, but you can feel the effects of it. You can feel the effects of greatness if one chooses to be great. If you choose not to be great, that's what you're going to be doing. My number was 246261 for 10.5 years. I studied brothers. So you say you real, we're going to see. You say you know who you are, we're going to see. Who's Malcolm X? I have no idea. Who is Martin Luther King? Oh, he was a brother that saved us all. Was he? Or were we actually set back a day by Martin Luther King? Yeah, he was great at what he did, but did he give us that precision? Did he give us that precision to become better people? Oh, let's all be nonviolent. Let's all get along together. We can't get along. I can't love my enemy because my enemy wants to destroy me from the inside out. And it's being destroyed from the inside out because I failed to have the understanding of who I am. But if you have the understanding of who you are, nobody can tell you anything different. Nobody can mislead you once you actually know your purpose. Once you actually know that I can change, I can do better, I am great. Who can tell you something different? No one. So until you choose to take your place as that man, as that righteous man that actually raised his family, you can't tell me nothing. But yeah, I can look at your struggle. And in fact, make your struggle my own. Because through your pain, I'm going to grow. Through the things that you know, I'm going to grow. I want to carry the world on my back because that's what greatness does. Understand, greatness doesn't live long, and not ashamed to say it, I don't plan to. Because once my path has been there and done, my greatness shall overcome all things. Once we look at each other and say, well, you're different than me. You're right. I'm no different than you. But what makes us different is the way that we're going to react. What makes us different is the way that we're going to set forth the change. What makes us different is how we see egotism. Egotism and separation is Willie Lynch. How many of y'all know about Willie Lynch? Anybody? Willie Lynch, the person, separated us through the way that you look. I look just like that brother right there. I look just like that brother right there. I look just like that brother right there. I am the slave. We are the slaves. But until we recognize that we are slaves, then we shall continue to be slaves. We shall continue to walk the path of darkness. We shall continue to do things that aren't of ourselves. We shall continue to disrespect our women. Continue to have kids and not care about them. The world we live in right now is a crazy place. How so? We allowed it to be that. So am I my brother's keeper? How can you be your brother's keeper when you don't have the knowledge to keep yourself? When you don't have the knowledge to tell me what the be is. What is to be? Well, it said, well, God just spoke and it was. There was light and it was. So why can't I do that? Oh, let's talk about Jesus for a minute. Who was Jesus and what did Jesus do? Did he sit in the room and listen? Well, y'all, we're going to do this today? Nah! Always on his grind. Always striving to find out what makes men better. What makes us who we are. We can't just sit inside of a church and expect for tomorrow to change. It won't happen. Sure, prove me wrong, and I sit down right now, I won't say the word, but I bet you can't. And once we actually find ourselves and we strive to understand who we are, what makes us better, we're going to gather people. They're going to come to us just like fish. Just like he said, I'm a fisher of men. That's what I do. Oh yeah, I might come to your hood, whatever, we might burn one or two. But I'm burning with you for the simple fact of not to get to see how good your weed is, but I'm burning with you to get to the fact of to see what did y'all understand. Because once we take upon these trees, your mind goes to a different level. It's floating now. So by floating, this truth is going to come out. So now, brother, we're going to sit down and break bread. Well, understand this. You lived in the world of negativity. So what are you going to do next? What are you going to do to make this world a better place? The world already exists. Does your greatness exist? Have you left your mark on this world? Does it exist? If it doesn't, you're doing something wrong. The brother said, well, you can't find who you are until you know Jesus. Well, again, if you just sitting down doing nothing and going to church and thinking about Jesus, then you did wrong. You did wrong. He was a mover, a doer. Let me see. I'm a mover, I'm a doer. I can give you life. I can take away your life. But in the process of taking away your life, they're going to take mine too. True indeed, they're going to snatch it away from me. But before that happens, before I allow myself to turn back to who I was, love is the highest understanding of elevation. Love is the highest understanding of elevation. Once you understand something, you have that mental picture. You've already implemented that wisdom. The wisdom is the activation of your knowledge. And once you have that activation, then you are able to implement it. And once you have that knowledge, the foundation of all things in existence, then you can travel on. You can continue to travel. But until you have those things, then you will never know who you are. You always try to fit in somewhere. You always try to do something different. Conscious, y'all, peace.
I gotta say this, right? So I promote like all these different poetry events. We do an event in Greenville. It's a 3-day event. Don't you say it. Don't say it. My son always says he invented this event. But anyway, it's a bracket style event. We gave away $1,500. Right. The only thing we give away $1,500. I don't know if you guys ever been to a poetry slam, but usually when you slam against the whole field. This is mono with mono. I don't have to beat everybody. I gotta beat you. And if I win, I advance. If I lose, I go sit down. And we had all kinds of different activities planned for the kids. We actually did a writing workshop, all this cool stuff or whatever. Well, anyway, one of the venues that I run, we just did a freestyle slam. So I got all this big buzz or whatever we weren't really expecting. So Constance came up to the freestyle slam, right? So he was competing in the final round, and he coming through like on wrestling. He was like Stone Cold, just whatever. So Ed Mabry, who was you know, phenomenal poet, a local lady by the name of Fire made it to the final round, and Conscious made it to the final round. So he's like getting all these cool words, and he's just killing it, you know, he coming up there, you know. His last word was toe jam, is that right?
Toe jam.
Toe jam. So he got toe jam, he kind of looked at it, he was like, toe jam? He took a step back, he rubbed his face, he played his head, he's like, all right, toe jam, toe jam, toe jam. And he flipped it the best he could. I think he came in, what, second?
Yeah.
Came in second or whatever when he did his thing. But that was just amazing because Cass like a freestyle poet, he got toe jam. It was like that Mike Tyson left hook. It was like, oh, I don't know what I can do with this one. He still did his thing, man. We're going to get ready to bring up this next poet. Just met them today. But I'm sure they're going to definitely come up and do their thing. Ron's question, yes, no. Something what? My mama what? Oh, what?
Oh, he want to roll, let him roll. They were the piano. I thought he was going last. Go ahead.
Oh, I saw her.
He said he was, let him roll.
I saw her. So we're gonna do it. Mr. Red Storm, you wanna wait, bring up last? We can wait, brother. We can wait. What you wanna do?
Hey, you know me, I'm ready to go. You know?
Hey, I tell you what, then what we gonna do? We're gonna keep the anticipation up. We're gonna save this brother for last. We're doing a panel discussion now. All right. So we're gonna ask you individuals to come to the stage.
Yeah, bring your chairs.
If we could ask you to grab your seats and come to the stage at this moment.
If you're on the panel.
If you're on the panel.